Hello and welcome to EBAday 2021. I'm Hannah Wallace, and calling into our virtual studio today is Veerle Damen, Managing Director, Global Head of Network Management at Natwest. So Veerle, it's lovely to see you again, although virtually this time.
Likewise, yes, it's good to see you too.
Good to have you on. So we're talking about the transformation of correspondent banking and sort of driving success through wider adoption of instant payments, which will be at the height of discussion at EBAday this year. So to start, I'd like to home in on the topic of payments ecosystems. This is a really interesting one. And I'd love to hear about what the role is of correspondent banking. What does it play here in making faster international payments ecosystems possible? And can you tell us a bit about what that entails as well?
So faster cross-border payments are very important in this ever-growing global economy. So the correspondent banks have already been assisting with making it faster through initiatives like GPI, which is creating faster and more transparent payments, through ISO 20022, which is focusing on really eliminating the difference and incompatible data structure that are so important for cross-border payments, as well as APIs. So banks need to continue to be part of the structural transformation we are seeing in the industry. We have to work together with the clearing systems, with the regulators, who are working on upgrading their real-time systems, instant payment systems. And we have initiatives like Thailand and Singapore who are now have a cross-border system for their retail real-time payments, which has just been announced. We have SEPA and faster payments, and correspondent banks just need to be part of that journey. I think that's really important in order to make this a success.
All right, so thank you for setting the scene for us there. So which initiatives then are on the horizon, and maybe run us through some of the challenges that also still remain?
So the global payments landscape is evolving at a very rapid pace. It's never been busier. We have governments focusing on real-time payments, as I mentioned. We have the G20 focusing specifically on cross-border payments. And then we have the ongoing SWIFT initiatives. We have the P27 in the Nordics. We have the BUNA system as part of the Arab Monetary Fund going now into instant payments as well. We have the central bank digital currencies. I had to mention that. It's obviously something that a lot of countries are now looking into. And that's just to name a few. So what are the challenges? We have to make sure that there is global cooperation so that we are as harmonized as possible and we can have that interoperability, which will make a big difference for cross-border payments. We have to make sure there's such a quick pace of change, but we obviously have finite resources and budgets. So we have to make sure that we choose the involvement in these initiatives carefully. And lastly, we have to also ensure that it remains inclusive to everyone, to every country, to every participant in the market, so that there isn't a differentiation and a discrimination against certain countries or certain currencies.
Right, so there's a huge amount to be taking on board and taking into account. So what's the best way then to respond to this increased competition, the compliance requirements, and also all this new technology? What about that?
Yeah, so we have a very tried, tested, trusted correspondent banking model. We obviously have all the new alternative providers coming into the market. We have all of the new technologies. So how do we respond? As I've already mentioned before, we have to continue to work together. Cooperation is key. And I say that probably in every single conversation I have. We have to decide as a business, as a bank, from a NatWest Bank perspective, we have to decide what we are good at, what we want to focus on, and what the key customer experience is we deliver. We have to ensure that we're aware of all the new technologies, of all the new participants in the market, as well as new products. And we have to go out, we have to go scouting, we have to investigate these new technologies and partners, and then decide again who we want to cooperate with, which partnerships we want to go into, whether that's with other banks or with fintechs or technology companies, is to be decided. It has to be right. From a compliance point of view, I definitely want to focus on the fact that we can't do it all. So AML, KYC, I think are specific areas for global cooperation, industry cooperation. as well as appointing new partners and new technologies to help us with those processes.
Well, Veerle, I know you're incredibly busy at Natwest, and you're doing some really interesting work, and hopefully you'll be able to catch up during EBAday 2021 this year. So until then, we'll leave it there, but thank you so much for calling in. It's great to hear your insights.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much for having me, and I'm looking forward to moderating a session on this topic as well, so it's close to my heart. Thank you.